Thank you for being here tonight. It is so good to see you. Um, so I know we're a little early for victories because we do them at the end, but I want to do a victory to start with. I really do. Hang on a second. Let me find my piece of paper. I had to print this out today. I had to print it. It's right here.
We need more victories.
So I mentioned about a week, maybe 2 weeks ago, that my doc wants to do a podcast part two, right?
Yeah.
And then a lot of y'all sent videos to me to send to him to have either questions addressed or your thoughts or concerns about being an invisible patient. Why does this happen? Why are we ignored? But all this different stuff. I sent him a whole boatload of those. I finally heard back yesterday from him. I mean, we talk occasionally, but back and forth on Messenger, but he sent me this yesterday. I want to read it because I don't want to put words into his mouth. He said, not this Friday, but next, October the 10th. Thinking we could start with what it looks like to find a new pain doctor. So I'm doing these videos right now on how to find a new PCP.
Yes.
That's his choice of the topic to start off with. So it's going to be an opportunity for me to live pick his brain, what to do, what not to do, how to avoid screwing up, how to avoid looking like a med seeker. We're going to be able to get this straight from literally the horse's mouth.
That's awesome.
I wish I would have had that before I went and started interviewing doctors. So he is going to sit down, and that's the very first topic he wants to bring up. He said, start with what it looks like to find a new pain doctor, especially if you've been on opioids. We can talk about barriers such as ACE scores. So he's fine with bringing that, putting light on the topic of how ACE scores can be a detriment to the invisible community, especially pain patients, especially those of y'all that are suffering with fibromyalgia and stuff like that, right? And then weave in some patients. And I'm not 100% sure what he's talking about there, but what I think he's talking about is all those videos you guys sent and your questions, your comments, your fears, your ideas. That's when we're going to be able to bring those up.
That's awesome.
And so if there's a chance, if you send a video in, that he's going to directly reply to what you had to say.
That's awesome.
How awesome is that? And then, if that's not cool enough, he finished it with, maybe plan to shoot 2 episodes. One in the, he goes, at least 1, but possibly 2, depending on how we're both feeling.
That's awesome.
So he's already looking at podcast number 3, and we haven't even recorded podcast number 2 yet. That's how active he wants to be in helping other doctors see what we go through, helping us get our opinions and our thoughts and our concerns out.
That's amazing.
So this is pretty awesome. This is pretty awesome. I think the fact that he wants to help give advice on what to do and what not to do when we're having to go seek better care is one of the best gifts he could give us. So I will be there on October the 10th to film the first podcast, to record the first podcast. So figure 2 weeks after that. So give it a couple of weeks after we record it, but I'll give you an update on what he has to say and everything like that. The last time, it took so long last time for it to be put up on his page because the guy that he pays to edit all of his stuff either got sick or his car broke down, something happened, and he couldn't get to the office to get his hands on the equipment to edit it, and that's what took so long. But we get to hear from a doctor themselves on what are ways. Check that out. That's cool. And thank you for the Corey earlier who sent that. We get to hear from a doctor themselves on how we can be better when we go to try to make these appointments for these interviews. And maybe what doctors are looking for from us, so we can present ourselves in a correct way. So Stone Drift asked, did he write a book? No, he has not written one yet. I know that he's done a study, and that reminds me, I have to ask him tomorrow because I see him tomorrow. He did a study on painsomnia and myth versus is it real and stuff like that, and I haven't seen it yet. So I'll ask him about that, but he hasn't written a book yet. Dr. Mike has written a book, and Dr. Mike can be hot or cold with people. Either people like him or they hate him. I'm a big fan of Dr. Mike. As soon as I say that, the number of people watching just drops to the floor.
Yeah.
But I think, oh, check out the little like French spud. That is awesome. Potato and pears. Um, but I think Dr. Mike's book, when we use it in the right way, can be very good.
Oh,
But
absolutely.
you have to use it as a textbook. You have
Yep.
to pick and choose what applies to your situation,
Yeah.
and because not all of it will apply to everybody, but he had to
Yeah.
make it general enough to where it would encompass the most amount of people. You know,
Oh, that's great,
um,
Sarah. Sarah
so
said that
that
her doc is extremely interested in our group too. That's amazing. I love that you guys are sharing our group with your doctors. And, I think Keith has been such a wonderful way, like, he has acted like a bridge to be between our community and his doctor. And I think if we can do that with more doctors, like Sarah, you could be the bridge between your doctor and our community. And like that would be so cool. And I think reaching doctors that way is amazing. And we can, pick their brains or get their resources. And, I think that's wonderful. So thank you for
I think
sharing
so
us
too.
with him. It's great.
Yeah, I think the more that we can get together and talk about what's going on, it's
Yeah.
a win all the way across. It's better for the doctors. It's better for the patients. We don't have to agree on everything, y'all. We don't have
Mm-mm.
to agree with what the doctors say 100% of the time. But at least we know where they're coming from and why they feel the way they do and why they
Yeah.
do the things they do. And that I really believe that gives us a leg up, to get better care. And isn't that what we all want is better care? I mean, that's what I want.
Yeah.
I'm
And I
never
mean,
satisfied.
it's just, I think the whole thing for me is just the more you know, the better. Like for us, I feel like people with chronic pain and chronic illness, like we don't get the luxury of having we stopped learning after school. Like we have to continue learning about our diagnoses and the treatments and different medical research, and we have to continue to learn new things about the medical field and our health. And so having a doctor that can share some of their knowledge as well, I think is just really cool.
It's important. I think it's important to learn from both sides of the perspective, to have that conversation, the polite conversation without yelling at each other. It's like
Yeah.
the first podcast when he just totally destroyed me. If you haven't seen it, go to my profile,
Destroy
click on
you.
Linktree, and it's like the second or third thing from the top. But it's a direct link to the podcast I did with him. First 15 minutes, he destroyed me on opioid-induced hyperplasia. I mean,
Yeah.
I went from 6'1" to 1 inch on the sofa. Right? It was embarrassing, but he did it politely. Uh,
Exactly. That's the point.
Stone Stone Driftwood said most of us don't have a choice to switch doctors without driving hours. 10,000% agree with that. I
Yeah.
understand that. I drive an hour and a half each way to get to my doctor because
Yeah.
I had to get out of the local healthcare system. I had to get out of this local hospital system that was killing me.
Yeah.
And I know for a lot of people that's not possible. So
Mhm.
there we have to come up with ways to do what we can within the limited constraints that we have to see how we can get better.
Yeah.
And there are some strategies for that. I'm gonna finish. I'm gonna go ahead and do a few more videos on how to get a better doctor, how
Yeah.
to interview a doc. But then I want to get everybody else's opinions on the same thing. So when I'm talking to on the podcast with this guy, I can bring in your thoughts and your suggestions, right? I don't want it all be me because I make mistakes, right? And
Yeah.
I want the community's ideas and opinions to get out there as well. You
But
know,
I do want to make a little comment about that, about the having to drive really far and that just not being a possibility. I think another thing that this community is just like a great wealth of knowledge because I mean, there was a time that I traveled 4 hours to go see a doctor. And luckily, after I saw them for a while, they were a little bit more lenient about me coming every single month. But there was a time where I had to drive 4 hours one way every 4 weeks. And I know there's so many people on here who drive far distances. And so ask them because, if they have tips or tricks on how they manage that drive or what they do when they have to go far or how they make that work for them, I think we can be wells of knowledge for each other. If you know, be like, hey, I saw that you left in the comment that you drive 3 hours one way. How do you do that? Like, what do you have any tips or tricks? Do you have any, why did you have to drive that far or whatever? And I think just using each other as a resource can be really helpful too. Um, because I know a lot of us drive a ways for doctors and it's hard and it's not possible for everybody, but you know, if we can share some things that help for us or work for us, um, you know, that's why we're here.
That's what this community is here for, is to share ideas and communicate with each other what worked, what didn't, what destroyed
Mhm.
you, what made you better, you know, to give everybody more information when they're making decisions on their own. Because let's face it, some doctors don't always give us the negative side of a treatment. They just
Right.
give us the rosy side of it, and we need the full. And if you like, and if you go to Dr. Google, ask the negative side effects of something, whatever we do to better our health is going to kill us. You know,
Yeah.
so we have to figure out, you know, what's the happy medium to see if
Never
it's
good.
worth it. But I totally get that, and that's another reason though why, if you're going to make that commitment to drive 2 hours to interview a doctor,
Mhm.
start talking with people so you can get prepared for that interview. So you have all of your ducks lined up in a row. So even if it turns south and it doesn't work out, you can walk out of that interview knowing that it's not your fault, that it's the doctor's fault, right? That you did everything you could do. Um,
Yeah.
but so that's why you have to prepare in advance, you
Forky,
know?
I'm not laughing at you. I promise. I've been there. She says, I generally play 80s music and cry for my 90-minute drive.
Yeah.
I've been there. You know, sometimes you use the drive as a therapy. You play some loud music, you cry, you get a good cry out, you know. Oh, you got a worm on you. But that's funny. I can relate to that. Please laugh. Okay, I don't want to laugh at you. I'm not laughing at you, I promise.
That's funny.
But we've all been there.
I want to share this victory so it doesn't get lost. Jamie said, I have a win. My insurance found me a pharmacy and I got my meds for the month. I want to
Yay.
share it now. We're going to do victories at the end as always,
Amazing.
but I didn't want to forget that one.
That's
So I wanted to kind of
amazing.
bring that up because that's massive. That is huge. That is
Huge.
huge.
Yes.
Um, Speaking of victories, because you don't see it as a victory, though I see it as a victory. I see it as you went and you did what you had to do to make memories, and that's a bonus. But you're paying a hell of a price for it. You had an appointment yesterday with like some kind of flexology where they put their hands on your head and they feel bumps. Is that what it is?
Wrong end of the body, but close. Actually, not close at all.
Okay.
No.
I don't know.
No, I went to a reflexologist yesterday and it was quite the appointment. I has anybody in here, I want to know if any of you guys have done reflexology or been to a reflexologist. Um, because I had been to one years ago, like probably 20 years ago. I went to one and I don't remember anything being like special about it. I don't remember anything happening and like it helping in any way. Um, and then, oh, Miss Sarah, you did fun. And then, like in my mid 20s, I went back to like a holistic clinic and they did reflexology, acupuncture, Reiki, and some other like sound baths or something like healing like that. And again, I don't remember it being like anything great. Yes. What?
Sound baths.
Oh,
You,
Lord.
you take a bath in sound waves.
Listen.
I don't want to get off target. We can come back to it. I
No,
just didn't know that was a thing.
it is a thing. And, you know, we've talked about how we'll do anything to feel better. It is as crazy and kooky as it sounds. And no hate to anybody in here who thinks that works, but it was a little kooky. It was a little kooky.
Okay. All right. Continue on. I just had to ask that question.
Yeah. Um, You know, Sarah, I hate feet. I don't like seeing people's feet. I don't like seeing my feet. I don't like people touching my feet. So, why I agreed to do this, I'm not 100% sure. I think it was a moment of weakness that I had a lady that I met, and she was like, I want to go, but I don't have anybody to go with me. Will you go? And I was like, yeah, sure. Let's have fun. Make a day out of it. Let's go have fun. And then I realized I don't like people touching my feet. But you know, I had already said yes at that point, so I felt bad getting out of it, so I just figured I could suck it up for half an hour.
Oof.
Yeah.
Oh. So are you cured? Are you cured?
No, unfortunately not. But I will say the person that we went to, feet are gross. I agree. Even my feet, and they're like they look fine, but oh no, pedicures are not my thing. I would not pay I don't want to pay somebody to touch my feet. Anyway, I did, but I digress. Um, the guy that we went to was like crazy knowledgeable. Like his dad had been doing it for like 60 years and he's been doing it for 40 years. And his
Excuse me.
brother and his son do it. And
So
I
you have a there's a whole family of foot fetishes, is what you're telling me?
and it's
Okay.
so funny because the lady that was with me, she'd been there before.
Are we
And
talking are we doing intimacy topics again tonight?
no,
Okay.
not foot fetishes. That's where I draw the line, guys. We can do intimacy again, but I draw the line at foot fetishes. Okay.
All right. Okay. All right. I'm getting you in the weeds. I'm sorry.
But she had been there before and she was like, you know, are you close to retirement or whatever? And he goes, you know, I wish I was because I don't like rubbing feet. And I was like, well, sir,
And what are you?
unfortunately, I hate to break it to
Then,
you,
then you
but
need to learn to code, sir. You're in the wrong line of
he was
work.
really sweet. He was like, but you know, I see the impact and you know, it helping people, so that's why I do it and whatever. But anyway, so we sit down and the lady that I'm with, she was like, yeah, I'm really hoping you can help Amy. She has a lot of issues. She's been struggling a lot. She goes, okay, Amy, now tell him what's wrong with you. And I was kind of like, I don't know where to start. But the guy was like, no, I don't tell me anything. He's like, I'll figure it out. Like, I'll tell you what's wrong with you. And I was like, be my guest, sir. Like, have your best shot at it. And when I tell you he nailed everything on the head, and halfway through, I was like, I think I might believe in this now. Because I kind of was going into it very like, he's not going to do anything. Like, he's going to rub my feet. I'll freak out for a little bit, but it'll be fine. But he like was very accurate about which vertebrae I was having issues with. He was very specific about my like digestion and my colon, all these things. It was very strange. Yes, all from my feet. So apparently, if anybody doesn't know, reflexology is this Chinese medicine study where basically the bottom of your foot, different parts of it correlate to different parts of your body. And so, like the knots you feel in your feet, like they're not supposed to be there. And that is correlating to a part in your body. And it was strange because, like, there was points on my left foot that were really tender that my right foot wasn't tender. And, like, my neck was super painful. Like, the spot for my neck on my foot was super painful, but my low back was completely fine. And that's true. Like, I don't have any low back issues. Um, but yeah, it was fun. He was very knowledgeable. It was funny because, um, TMI, I feel like, are we TMI here still? I have issues with my digestion and the exit part of the digestion. You know, I feel like if you're on pain pills, you probably have a problem with going to the bathroom. Um,
Frozen burritos. Seriously,
listen,
you don't need lactate.
I
Go to
got
go
I
go to
got
Aldi's.
desperate. I got desperate the other day and I had Taco Bell, and that didn't even do it.
Oh shit.
Yes.
I was thinking, no shit. Obviously, if it didn't take care of it, no shit.
Yeah, I tried Taco Bell. That's how desperate I was. It had been days, and I was like, I got Taco Bell. Didn't work. So I went, and he was like, he got to like whatever part on the foot, whatever, and he was like, um, "You're really backed up. Has it been like days since you've gone to the bathroom?" I was like, "Yeah." He goes, "Like 6 days," and I said, "Yeah." He goes, "Yeah, I can tell." He was like, "You have like 20 pounds of poop in you." And I was like, "Is that why I'm fat? Is that why I'm fat, sir?" And he was like, "That could be it." And I was like, I knew it wasn't fat, it was poop all along.
Oh my
So good
God.
news. Once it leaves my body, I'm going to be skinny. We're excited about that.
I'm not going down that left turn. I am going to go a different way, different route. Um, People give Chinese medicine a hard time. They do. From reflexology to acupuncture to taking certain herbs and everything like that. I look at it like this: it's been around for centuries,
Yeah.
centuries, right? In China, they have hospitals where acupuncture is one of the treatments for many different symptoms, right?
Hmm.
So it's like Chinese United Healthcare pays for acupuncture at their hospitals. There, it's national.
Oh, that's cool.
And I was never a real big believer in it. A friend of mine talked me into trying it when I was in Vegas, and it was kind of good. Um, and then somebody I met went on my trips to New York. They've actually has gone as far as like living in Tibet for like 6 years. They
Oh,
totally submerge themselves in different cultures. Excuse me. And they have a master's in Chinese traditional Chinese medicine.
that's cool.
So like the last time I saw them in New York, I got acupuncture, and as I'm laying there on the table and they pulled all the needles, starting to pull the needles out, they stopped and they're like, "Okay, you're going to feel something in your ear. Don't move. Everything is fine. You're going to be okay."
Okay.
And so I did, and it hurt. And I'm just kind of like, "All right, I'm trusting you." I actually said that. They're like, "If it's okay, give it a few minutes."
Yeah.
And like, I don't know, 4 minutes later, 5 minutes later, they grabbed my hand and they pulled it up. So I'm laying face down and I'm holding up my ear like this. So like, hold this swab on your ear for a few more minutes, because if not, you're going to get blood on your t-shirt. And I'm like, what? So they cut my ear to release like basically chi toxins that
Mhm.
had been accumulating in my neck and up the side,
Oh,
and that's
wow.
how it was let out.
Hey,
And
bud.
it sounds crazy, it sounds nuts.
Oh,
And I'm
yeah.
not telling people to try this stuff. I'm not telling you to go find somebody to whack your ear off. But it worked.
Yeah.
It worked.
I mean,
So, but I can't afford to. Well, they're not even in New York anymore. They're in Mexico now, so I can't afford to fly to Mexico a couple times a month to get acupuncture. So,
yeah.
or my ear stabbed or my ear cut. So, um,
Yeah.
but I would say if you look for like an acupuncturist, don't go to like somebody that graduated from University of Las Vegas, Nevada, or University of Nevada, Las Vegas, UNLV,
Yeah.
who comes out with an acupuncture degree.
Hmm.
Find somebody that's trained in traditional medicine, trained. Like if you Google search here for in the Dallas area, there are some guys and ladies that are doing it here that at one time were head of the acupuncture departments in hospitals in China,
Oh, wow.
right? So they're there. It's just my insurance doesn't cover it, and
Right.
they're that good. It's like $300-400 per
Yeah.
treatment, and can't do it. I
Yeah.
just can't do it. So, but if
I
your
think
insurance covers it,
that was the difference is that I think the people I'd been to before just graduated from like a school here in the United States, which isn't, I'm not saying is
yeah, I'm not
terrible,
saying that. I'm not
but
saying that's
like
bad,
that's
but
just what they did. But this guy, like his dad and him, like they studied in China, and I think his brother did too. But it's like they've done celebrities and like they are a wealth of knowledge. And he was so and like he knew a lot of stuff. And I love the part where he was like, I'm not gonna sell, he's like, I'll tell you what supplements I think you should have. He was like, you don't have to buy any if you don't want to. I don't care. He's like, you do you. Like if you want to try it and see if it works, good. If you don't, I don't care. which I
Yeah.
liked because I feel like a lot of people like push the supplements and stuff. But I think that's the difference. And I was like, oh, he really knows what he's talking about.
Yeah, I'm not saying people have to go to China to learn how to do reflexology
Oh,
or
no.
acupuncture. My point is, make sure they didn't just go to a Saturday class, a weekend class, right, to learn how to stick needles in you.
Yeah.
Please, that's what I would try to avoid. And
Yeah.
unfortunately, as good as dry needling can be, that's another non-traditional. It's a takeoff of acupuncture. A
Mhm.
lot of the people that practice dry needling, they go to a weekend conference, and
Oh, yeah.
that's the certificate. So with
Yeah.
everything, we got to do our research, right? We got to Google. We got to use AI. We have to talk to people, and see what's going on to see what we're getting or what we're going to try is
Yeah.
applicable. I just did um, a video a few days ago that Dr. Mike corrected me on because I was like, first step you want to do is get your records, you
Mhm.
know. Um, Dr. Mike corrected me. He's like, no, the first thing you need to do is convince yourself you deserve better care, right? Which is true. So
That's
the
true.
second step would be getting your records. But the
Yeah.
third step would be research,
Yeah.
research, research, research. Talk to people um, who have experienced it, talk to knowledgeable people, talk to people who don't just push one solution.
Yeah.
Talk to people who say that other types of therapies may help, right?
Mhm.
Some say that ketamine doesn't help people.
Right.
Tell that to the thousands of CRPS patients that are getting it done, or the
Yeah.
thousands of mental health patients that have had injections as well, and it's changed their lives.
Yeah.
So,
Absolutely.
what works for one person may not work for the other.
Yeah.
Um,
And yes, read the
and
Google reviews. Those are very helpful
yes,
too.
read and leave Google reviews.
Oh yeah.
Leave Google reviews.
Mhm.
Unfortunately, the one I left for Dr. Pena is no longer available because that practice is no longer here.
That's true.
So,
Yeah.
um, so
Yeah.
and Kate, I want to get back. I saw Kate said that her PT does dry needling. I'm not saying all people who do dry needling are bad. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying whoever you choose to go to for whatever specialty that they do, research them.
Hmm.
Make sure that they have qualifications and make sure that they're seeing people that are getting good care, if
Yeah.
that makes sense.
Yeah.
So I'm not trying to put anybody down for any type of procedure.
Yeah.
I don't do that.
And I think, the cool thing was, and I was like, as I was telling my husband about all of this, and I was like, do I think and it wasn't, I know somebody had asked earlier the cost of it. It was 30 minutes that he did basically rub my feet was what it felt like. And it was $60, which I didn't think was terrible, but not something I could be doing like every single week or like that. But I didn't think it was too bad. Um, but as I was like explaining things to him, I was saying, do I think this is going to cure me? No. Do I think it's
Yeah,
going to take all my pain away? No. But if it could help, like even just my digestion and, my number twoing, if it could just help that a little bit, girlfriend would be a lot happier and maybe have a flatter stomach, which I would also love. But,
yeah,
it's like if it could help 25%, that's great. And then my pain medication can help a little bit. And then, like my exercises can help a little bit. And I think, that goes back to a pill is not a plan. Like you have to have all these different things you're doing to help you along the way. And so if you can find another tool that works for you and that you enjoy and you like, go for it. You know? So
yeah.
we'll see.
And
I'll keep you guys updated. I started taking some supplements. Nothing has happened yet, but I'm waiting.
I'm telling you,
I'm waiting.
I would be in your shoes if it wasn't for discount frozen burritos from Aldi's.
Listen, I
I
tried.
really would.
That's
They are a blessing in my life. Um,
yeah.
it's a secret. It's a secret.
Oh man, I
You
really
know,
thought Taco Bell
check
was
out the
gonna help
bird.
me out. Oh, look at it, so pretty. I really thought
So
Taco Bell was gonna solve my problems, but I think it just made it worse.
you know, just made it worse. I don't know. I woke up earlier today. I don't understand what's going on. Today was a good, was a, I don't want to say I don't want to feel like I'm bragging, but for the
Please.
majority of
I had a bad
today,
day. I want you to have a good day. Please
the
have a good
majority
day.
of, majority of today with pain meds and everything else I do was about a 7. Okay. I'll take that because that's better than it's been for a long time.
Yeah.
But so I was able to flop and I got like an hour nap, right? And I was like, heck yeah.
Heck
And
yeah.
I woke up and it's like, your body, I feel my body just does things just to show me that it's really in control. Because I woke up and I really felt like I could throw up last Tuesday's lunch. That's how bad I had. That's where my stomach is now.
Yeah.
After like 6 family-sized doses of Pepto, you know, it's like, it's like what, where is this coming from? Where
Yeah.
is this coming from? So, and it wasn't from burritos today because I can tell you that.
Yeah.
So,
Well, I mean,
what?
I think we talked about this today where, um, yes, Forky, isn't that the most frustrating thing when you feel worse when you wake up from like a nap and like you went into the nap being like, please just like take this pain or headache away. And then you wake up feeling worse. It's like you feel betrayed. I'm like, that's so rude.
Yep.
But we were talking about this today and how I from yesterday, like on paper, right? I sat in a car for 50 minutes to drive there. And then I sat in a room for an hour while I did it and my friend did it. And then I sat back in a car and rode 50 minutes home. Why on God's green earth am I in so much pain today and so exhausted today? It's like that doesn't add up to that. And I know Keith and I have had many conversations where we ask each other the question, what did I do? What did I do to be in this much pain? Or, why am I hurting so bad from doing nothing? And I know I know you guys can relate to that, but it's just so frustrating when you're like A plus B does not equal C. Like sitting in a car or sitting down for 4 hours should not have equated me to be bumped on my butt and in bed all day. But alas, here we are.
There you
I
are.
almost did this live from my bed. I want you to know. I was this close. I was this close from staying in there.
Hey, I think I don't want to like call Forky out by name, but I will. I think Forky's in bed right now on the live. You know, I think her video, the sweet video she did about the live tonight. I think mentioned possibly being in pajamas for the live. Right. This is basically my pajamas, t-shirt and shorts. So
It's
I
true.
guess I could qualify. Take the hat off. I want to say something.
Bedtime.
I've always had this special connection to Moonchild, and I think I figured it out what it is.
For sure.
A while back, a little bit ago, Moonchild left this wonderful comment, and I think this is why I feel a connection. Moonchild said, "Pepto in the fridge door is a staple in our home."
Oh,
Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Somebody else on the planet realizes that chilled Pepto is the best way to take Pepto.
okay. Now, question: are you putting it in the fridge for a reason, or you just like
Yeah.
it cold, or is there like you have a theory that cold Pepto works better than warm Pepto?
No, it's easier to get down. It is so much easier to get down.
Everybody puts your Pepto in the fridge. Where have I been?
Ricky's like, isn't that the only way? You
What?
know?
You guys don't tell me these things. I don't want to be left out. I'm gonna go put my Pepto in the fridge now. What?
Yeah, look at all this.
Gosh, you guys all put your Pepto in the
Everybody,
fridge. Okay, what else do you put in your fridge? And what else am I forgetting? Good Lord, I feel left out.
everybody but poor Elise. Pepto just makes me want to throw up faster.
Oh, I love the taste of
Yikes. I'm
Pepto.
sorry. Um,
It's,
I mean,
I
and
mean,
I consider myself a Pepto pro, which some of the people here may be, where you rip the little like, serving cup, you just rip that off and throw that in the trash can and drink it straight from the bottle. Does anybody else do that?
I like the taste of
That's what I
Pepto.
do.
I don't know what's wrong with it. I think it tastes good. Nobody else in my family does, but I think it tastes good.
You know,
It's
you got to
crazy.
get rid of
Now I
that.
want to put Pepto in the fridge and just try it to see if it tastes better.
You got to get rid of that serving cup. That's a suggested amount of serving.
Oh,
That's suggested.
let me tell
All
you,
right.
the serving cup on the Pepto and NyQuil get tossed as soon as
Yeah,
they play.
exactly.
Bye. I don't need you, friend. I do not need your suggestion. I'll figure it. I'll measure with my heart. Okay. I'm gonna measure with
It's
my heart over here.
for me. It's Pep. The cups go away. It's
He's a
Pepto.
joke.
It's Pepto. It's Robitussin. It's Dimetap. Right. And it's
Chugging it.
another one. You know.
YOLO.
It. It just.
Yeah, it's just a
Yeah. I.
suggestion, really. I mean, I'm not listening to them.
Buck. Yeah. Exactly. Buck. Better living through chemistry.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, those are serving suggestions for normal people. Unfortunately, as much as when I say this, y'all don't be mad at me because I love each and every one of you. We ain't normal.
Normal. No.
We ain't normal,
Yeah, no.
and
Yeah.
um,
That's
it,
what. Ooh,
yeah.
cough. Oh yeah,
So
any type of cough syrup. You just measure with your heart. And it was, gosh, it was probably like a year or two ago, the last time. Oh, you got an octopus.
that
I
was
love
awesome.
octopus. The last time my husband got sick, but he was gonna take the NyQuil, and he was like, "Where? How much do I take?" He's like, "There's not a cup on here."
Check it out.
And I was like, "Just take a swig." And he was like, "No, like how much do I take? Like what's the serving size?" And I was like, "Dude, just measure with your heart. Like you just chug it." And he was like, "No, I'm not doing that. I want to take exactly what is prescribed." And I was like, "Well, then you're not taking any."
Look at you. That's
Yeah,
cuter than your crown.
that is. But
Um,
yeah, I was like, if you're not just gonna like measure with your heart, then I guess you're not taking it. And I don't think he took any because he was too worried. He was like, "No, you have to take the right amount." And I'm like, "No, you
no, you
actually
don't.
don't. You'll be
No.
fine."
I mean, I'm not. I don't want to give medical advice, but it is all over the counter and it's been tested. That's about the only thing that really gets tested, right? Is to make sure that it's we can't do stupid things with it. Even though kids today, actually, it's not even kids today. It was kids the generation after mine started doing that what they call roboing, where they would go get a bottle of Robitussin and slam the entire bottle.
Oh yes.
Don't do that.
Don't do that. Do not
That
recommend.
can that has serious negative impacts on your life if you try to do that.
Yeah.
So
No. Any season.
um,
Yeah, and I don't Robitussin doesn't taste good either. I'd rather take NyQuil than Robitussin.
well, they're two different things.
Well, I know, but usually like the tastes of the medicines don't really bother me, but
The only medicine that I enjoy the taste of is Dimetap, which is like an antihistamine because it's grape flavored.
I don't think I've ever had that.
And as a 57-year-old adult straight male, I will take children's Dimetap. I'll take Dimetap liquid instead of the capsules because it tastes so good. They haven't changed that since dirt. It's been that same flavor since dirt. And
Maybe I need to try some.
it is, I like Robitussin too, Val, but it can burn. It can burn.
Yeah.
Wait, Erica says they don't make that grape. They don't make that grape anymore.
Mm,
Oh no!
you should have stocked up. That's not good.
Oh,
St. Joseph.
pal.
Yeah, I don't think I ever tried Dimetap. I don't know. Maybe when I was little, I did. Lord only
You
knows.
know,
We've tried it all around here.
at least my med is strawberry banana flavored. Why would anybody do that to me? My nausea med is strawberry banana. Why would anybody do
Ooh, that's gross.
that? Do they not like you?
That's
Because that to me
terrible.
sounds like a little passive aggressive. That
Yeah,
they're taking
right.
something out. They had a traumatic childhood and they're taking it out on other people. You
We
know,
could give you the good flavor, but we're actually going to give you the crappy one.
the crappy one. You know,
Yeah.
I wish
Oh,
that
that sounds great.
I
Why is
wish
those
that
kind of different flavored? That's boring.
the triptan tablets that I take when my migraines my not my split, not the one on the back but the other migraines get really bad. They're dissolvable tablets. I wish
Yeah.
they had a flavor to them because
Yeah.
they don't, and they taste like dirt and acidic dirt. Because there's nothing I think that's as bad as those the taste of that when you have a 9 out of 10 or a 10 out of 10 migraine to put that type of flavor in your mouth. So, and
Oh,
Valerie makes
yeah. Val is absolutely right. There is nothing worse than liquid potassium. Oh my word. Or potassium pills. I feel like that doesn't make the pills aren't even good either.
the pills are
But
monster.
the pills are huge, but the liquid potassium. The last time I was in the hospital, which was knock on wood, 7 years ago, my potassium was crazy low, and they're like, "Here, you need to drink this," and I was like, "Okay," and I took a sip, and I was like, "Do you have this in pill form? Because I'm not drinking this." And then she was like, "Sure, we have it in a pill," and they brought out a thing that was like this big. And I
Yeah,
was
they
like,
bring out a like a horse-sized
"Okay,
pill, you know.
thanks. Okay, great,
Um,
perfect."
yeah,
Still a bad option. Love that for
yeah.
me.
Liquid potassium is atrocious. But it works really well for muscle cramps.
That's
Not going
true.
to say how I know that. So, not going to say how I know that. You know, what Valerie will share one of her stories. She was in
Mm.
the hospital due to her ATS, and
Mm.
they couldn't get her potassium level right. Her ATS, basically, either all the cells open and they flood her system with potassium, or they close up and there's no potassium in the blood system, right? Either or. So they were sticking her with these potassium IVs, one after another. It was like a constant 24-hour rotation of high potassium IVs. And they were
Ugh.
coming in to change the bag. And this nurse was not just a tech, I was a nurse doing it. And I'm like, we're changing it again? I go, that's crazy. I go, that's how much is that? And she looked at me and she goes, just between me and you, if we had this IV in us for about 10 minutes, we'd be dead. She's like, that would be enough to stop our hearts. And they're like, and we're testing Val, and she's registering at about a third of where her body or a normal body should be.
Bless
I
it.
mean, they were pumping that much stuff into her.
Mm, that stinks.
It was like, because that's, yeah, oof, it was crazy. But need to have Val on one night. She can share those stories about me jumping over the hospital bed, wanting to tackle the doctor.
I
I
feel like Val
did,
has a lot of really good stories.
you know, the first time that she had an ATS attack, um, before we got married, and I was there with her and Val's two girls, and Val is like, you know, and I am totally freaking out. Because she's like, Larry, like drooling down her side, and 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 I'm freaking out, and the two kids are on the sofa on their phones, texting people back and forth, and I'm like, what the hell? Look at your mom. Yeah, she'll be fine in a couple hours. Just leave her alone. Don't worry about it. What is going?
Oh my gosh. Okay.
It was the craziest thing. I'll never forget that first one. Of course, on my at that time, I'm going to have to admit, there may be on my side there may have been some alcohol involved, so that kind of really heightened me to see this person I'm dating and not passed out. Right? Um,
Oh
it was,
my gosh.
we've been through
Val, we
some.
need, we need you to blink twice if you're still okay.
Yeah, she's gonna. I'm sure there'll be payback tonight when I get off this live. She'll be like sharing stories, and I'll be like, at least I didn't share the episode at the Korean nail spa. That was a banner day.
Oh my word. Yeah.
She needs to share it because I can't. I can tell it from my perspective, but not hers. And um, every could you imagine being banned from a nail salon?
That is not
Better yet,
something I want to
better yet,
do. That's not
not
something I need to achieve.
not allowed to pay for your manicure or pedicure, but told you can't come back.
Oh
Don't ever
my
come back. They send you on your way after they do all that stuff, but you're not allowed back in the store. We like you, but we don't want you here.
right. Yeah, please stay. Please stay away. Oh my gosh.
For those that don't know, Val's one of Val's issues is something called Anderson-Tawil syndrome, extremely rare, And it's like I said, it has to do with her body can't but doesn't process potassium like a normal person. And like I said, the cells either open up and flood the bloodstream with potassium, or they close down and they won't let any potassium in the bloodstream. And potassium controls your muscles, and what's your most important muscle? It's your heart, right?
Yeah, true.
So,
Not good.
but it's a situation where um, the longer you're with somebody, we've learned this because there are two chronics living together.
Yeah.
Val will know when I'm bad before I know I'm bad.
Right.
And
Yeah.
I
That's
can tell when she's about to have an attack and go, I'll know 15 to 20 minutes before she starts getting a sensation to let her know that's coming,
yeah.
which means we can get the liquid potassium in her sooner,
Yeah. That's
which
good.
helps prevent the attacks. So, and Valerie, if I'm sharing too much, just come out of the bedroom and smack me.
Just whack
Everybody will
on.
like it. You know, that'll get us more views. So,
Oh my gosh.
um,
Of course, Miss Sherry, Miss Gassy over here. Miss Sherry always has the best stories. Miss Gassy Hag, her brother was 86th. I love how you use that term. From Denmark. We're gonna have you on one of these nights for you just to continue sharing stories because, of course,
yeah.
you had a relative that was banned from Denmark, of all places. Like, why Denmark? That's so. I love it for you because I'm sure it's a great story. And, better him than you, right? So I love it. My
Did
goodness.
I have to deal with stabbing somebody with a butter knife or a
I was
letter
gonna say,
opener?
all of her stories are top notch, 10 out of 10. Great. So I can only imagine that one will also be 10 out of 10.
10 out of 10. 10 out of 10.
No.
Exactly. Um,
Oh, you have the best story.
so that's funny. Well, Madam Queen, would you like to do your job? Your official Queen royalty, what you
Yes.
were made Queen for,
My
and
God.
lead us, not into
Absolutely.
temptation?
Yeah, I do not lead you into temptation. The Lord over
Check
here.
out the chicken again. Thank you for those. Those are
Yeah,
awesome.
with the little,
I love
with
those.
the cute little things. They've been so cute tonight. Okay. The best part of the evening, the part that I've been looking forward to the most, because I am going to selfishly live vicariously through all of you and take your victories as my own and celebrate them as if I did them. So let's share our victories. Deliver us from you. That's right. I'll deliver you guys from. We'll hold church up in here one of these days. I'll put my tiara on and I'll have a pulpit and I'll start preaching. Just wait.
Wait, wait,
Um,
wait, 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 wait. We're going to have the lady that goes to Bible study and wants to throat punch old church ladies lead us in a message.
listen, I don't even think I told you the story about Bible study last week that I just wanted to. But anyway, we'll save that for another time.
Save that for Thursday.
Yeah. Can I get an amen? That's right. Some of my best stories have come out of this Bible study group. So, am I doing it for the right reasons? Maybe not. But they are very entertaining. Let me tell
Do
you
we
that.
do these? Do we do these lives for the right reason?
No,
I
absolutely.
do. I do the lives though, right? I justify the lives because everybody here is loving and caring, and it gives me an escape to not focus on just how bad I feel, and
Absolutely.
that is so needed. That is so needed. So anyway,
Absolutely. But
we're done.
anyway,
We're getting.
yes, let's share our victories. If you have had a victory today or the past several days, please share it, even if it is as tiny as just getting out of bed today. Because by golly, that was my victory today. My booty was parked in that bed all day. And so it can be as simple as that, or it can be wonderful and grand that you found your unicorn doctor or you hung out with family. Whatever you consider to be a victory, I would love for you guys to share it. And we are going to encourage you and congratulate you and share them with everybody. So We have a lot of people in here tonight, so I'm hoping to see a lot of victories. So don't disappoint me, please.
Please don't. So anything, whether it's a shower, whether it's a unicorn
Yes.
doctor, and anywhere in between, whatever you may have. I saw somebody said they had a 21st wedding anniversary coming up, and that is pretty monstrous right there.
Wow.
You
That's
know,
amazing. That's
um, I know I saw it. Susan said I showered and washed my hair. Congratulations on that. I tried to take a shower today, but we're under a boil order. And so I feel kind of, do I shower or not? But I got to do it tomorrow because I'm a doctor's appointment. But anyway,
fun.
Erica took the sheets off the bed, washed and back on all in one day. That is awesome.
That's huge
Um,
victory. Oh my goodness.
Bucks, Buck says my grass seed is coming in. Congratulations.
Yeah.
Um, Kate, this is a beautiful story. Kate's friend drove 8 hours to spend the afternoon with them yesterday. Didn't know how much they needed it.
What?
And y'all, Kate can share the story why her friend drove, but it was a very beautiful thing. And that friend didn't even think twice, just did it. And God, I hope all of us can find friends like that.
Mhm.
Um, let's
That's
see.
really
Chronically resilient for me, it was a shower. Haven't had one in a few days, and I cooked dinner. Sometimes that's
that's
crazy.
amazing.
Standing in a shower, then standing to cook all in one day. Ain't
That's
happening with me.
that's
Gassy said,
doesn't
made it
happen.
to my son's beautiful, crazy, funny wedding. Lasted through 1/3 of the reception. Congratulations.
You
Those are the
there.
memories we always say we want to make, right? And it just jumped really far. Okay, what else am
So
I
proud of
missing?
you.
Ryder said, I think I found my diagnosis. Hallelujah.
That's amazing. We
Because
love it.
at least if you did, for me, the diagnosis is what they do for me is it gives me a name to bitch at.
Yeah. Just validation.
Effing neuropathy. Effing small fiber neuropathy. Instead of saying effing blowtorch feeling that's blowing my feet up and they want to burn off and I want to get a hatchet and cut them off. That's too much for me to say,
That's
right?
right.
So congratulations
That's
on that.
cool.
Um,
That's so cool.
so is there anything that I missed? Um,
This chronically resilient girl, even if you took a shower with the shower chair, that you did it. And she cooked dinner. Like that's so
yeah,
huge.
I
That's
know.
amazing.
And somebody said, and where did it go? Because it was really cool. Cynthia Strong, overcoming sepsis. Holy shit, that's a massive thing because before I got sick, I never understood sepsis. I didn't know what it was. I just thought it was like they give you some antibiotics and you're fine. They send you home. No, no, you may not come home
Mm-hmm.
because it's that serious. So that's awesome.
Glad you're feeling
That is
better.
so good. I'm glad you're getting better. You know.
Yeah,
Um,
so glad.
Jennifer said it's a small one, but made it through my PM appointment, and it was a good one. That is good. Anytime you can go through your pain doctor's office and say it was a good appointment, that's not necessarily a small victory. So,
Yeah.
um, if you want to hear about, I I'm nervous again about my pain management doctor tomorrow. I'm very nervous. I'm going to try to explain as I do the jigsaw puzzle to keep TikTok happy. Um, because I'm going to ask for an increase in
Yeah.
meds, and then going to ask for to be. I am going to ask to be put on gabapentin for the neuropathy in my feet.
Yeah. I think it's
And
great. I think it's all, and we've talked about this before about appointment anxiety, that, it's very common and okay that you get nervous before an appointment. But I think that you know what you want going into it, and that's a great start.
yeah, it's just why I want it, right? Um,
But if you need
uh,
it, you know,
Susan, I have tried Lyrica, and Lyrica unfortunately didn't work for me, and it actually had some really bad side effects. I'm glad it works for certain people, like everybody knows Tacoma. Tacoma's on a very, very high dose of Lyrica, and he credits it for cutting his pretty much his pain meds like by half, right? Because it's working that well for him, and so it does work for some people. For me, it wasn't a good situation. Um, I've been on gabapentin before. They gave it to me for radiculopathy, the pain, radiating pain in my chest. Didn't
Yeah.
touch it. In fact, we ended up giving all of that to our dog at the time. Seriously, we took Duke was like a Catahoula Great Dane mix. He was like a 90 to 100 pound dog,
You're
and he was
supposed
in
to
pain.
pills.
Well, and I love his doctor, and she's like, we're gonna try gabapentin. I'm like, really? How many milligrams? She goes 200, 3 times a day. I'm like, um, about that, and she goes, okay, is there a problem? And I'm like, well, um, I'm forced to get this from workers' comp. I don't have a
Yeah.
choice. I have to get this, and it doesn't do anything for me. I have hundreds of doses of that at the house. And she
Okay.
says it's 200 milligrams. I go, yeah. She goes, well, then give it to your dog. Give it to him.
Same thing.
She's like, you don't have to spend money here to fill that script here. And when you run out, let me know. And I've
Yeah.
been getting them for like 6 months, right? And it was the exact same thing.
Yeah.
She's like, why spend money when you don't have to? If it's already paid for. So I was picking them up at the pharmacy coming
That's
home,
hilarious. Little
and it
D.
helped him. And it
I'm not
helped him.
doing.
But it didn't help the radiculopathy in me.
Yeah.
But I've been researching this past several weeks, and it can work on non-diabetic small fiber neuropathy.
Yeah.
It's 50-50 whether it'll help or not, right? And I understand the brain fog, the confusion, and everything else that gabapentin can cause. I understand that going into it, right? But the burning in my feet at the um, at late at night, I can't sleep,
Yeah.
or it wakes me up. I've got to do something. I can only use so much of this shit, right?
Sure.
It's like I
Yeah.
have to scrape it off my feet because there's so much of it on my feet because this says like the normal people says this is 4 times a day max. Normal people. I'd go
Yeah.
through a bottle every 5 days.
Listen, you guys, something about Keith. If he had his way, he would be swimming in a pool of lidocaine 24/7. Okay, that's his dream scenario. If this man wins the lottery, he ain't getting a house, he ain't getting a car, he getting a pool of lidocaine. And he knows how
No,
much it's
I
gonna
am.
cost and everything.
Hasn't everybody? I mean, hasn't everybody figured out what the cost of a 55-gallon drum of lidocaine would be? I
Not a
have.
single person. No, that's not normal.
I
But
was
I
so
love that you
disappointed.
did.
I was so disappointed to know that you can't buy it in a 55-gallon drum. Well, I'm like, why not?
You know? You should invent it. Maybe that's what we're waiting on is for you to start a company where you just sell tubs of lidocaine for people to submerge themselves in.
I did, and
That's your
I
company.
was actually working on a business plan on that, but it would be outrageously expensive because it would take about 2/3 of a 55-gallon drum to be able to get into a bathtub enough to cover you up, minus your head, right? And that's like single use. You'd have to like pull it out, clean it, suck it all out, put it in a separate container with Betty's name on it, and only Betty can get in that again, right? It's not like you want to get into somebody else's lidocaine, do you? No. See, I don't either. Um, see, Jennifer says lidocaine baths. Honestly, that sounds amazing.
Well, and you guys think I'm weird. Like, what?
I never
Rude.
said you were weird. I said you're interesting.
I'm judged on here for not liking bacon. What else have I been judged for?
Oh,
I don't even
forgot.
know.
Yeah, I forgot about that. I did say you're weird for not liking bacon. You know, um,
All right.
but that's okay. You know, just if we have,
Lidocaine is my
if
Lord Jesus Christ.
if we ever, I know, guess that's the other thing is how do you protect those sensitive areas with it,
That was my
right?
question. My question. That ain't happening. Can you imagine? Lord, that's an intimacy night thing. Can you imagine? No, thank you.
Ain't no
Anyway.
pleasure without no pain. You know,
Oh, thank you, Moonchild. You know what? I told a friend of mine that I
see,
did not like bacon or pork, and she told me that I was strange. And I was like, well, I think you're strange because you like it. And she didn't think that was funny. But we're just not really close yet. So I don't think she gets my sense of humor. But
I,
she's like,
I,
you're weird if you don't eat that. And I was like, you're weird because you do eat it.
I like how Tracy thinks. Wait, they said, wait, I didn't know you could get lidocaine bubble baths. Could you imagine how exquisite that would be? Let's all just kind of close our eyes and dream of a lidocaine bubble bath.
You know, that sounds
Be
like a nightmare,
exquisite.
but
Um, but the good thing is, if we ever have our get together, if we ever can pull, all of us can sell enough plasma for those of us that can sell plasma, so we can do a get together at like an Airbnb, and where somebody's making breakfast, I'll eat your share of bacon.
oh, I thought you were going to say we're all going to get in a tub of lidocaine, and
No,
I'm not coming to that.
no.
I'm out.
Could
Okay.
you imagine?
Yeah.
Airbnb people come back and their hot tub's empty, but it's full of lidocaine when we leave. That would be
That's where I
awesome.
thought you were going with it, and I was like, I'm sorry, guys, I'm checking out of that one.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
Um,
see, we're passing. We'll be by ourselves.
check out the wiggle butt. Thank you for the wiggle butt.
I'm so
That is so
sweet.
awesome. I love the wiggle butt. Um,
Wrong
see,
place.
Buck says an Invisible No More convention. They're in. We just need to plan it. We need to figure out where. And we need to have like the plasma producing people on one side, and so we know, and then the non-plasma producing people on the other side. So we need to know how much plasma we have to give to make up for the people that can't produce it, and then we show up. Because
Yeah.
you figure somebody is going to be awake in that house 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Whenever if you get a group of invisibles together, there will always be somebody up when your pain insomnia is kicking your ass, right?
That's
And
true.
it would never, the lights would never go out. It would just be awesome, you know? So, but
That's true.
anyway, somebody needs to get planning on that. I'm going to go plan now to take my pain meds because I have been sitting way, 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 way too long. Before I do that, though, thank you all for supporting us. Thank you all for supporting me with this podcast with my pain doctor.
So cool.
I'm going to start doing videos begging y'all to ask me, to give me questions to bring to him about finding a new doctor. Y'all, this could be, even if you don't need a new doctor now, to be able to have a pain doctor tell you, don't do this mistake when you come in to see me the first time. That would be worth sitting down for 15 minutes. That is invaluable to us when we're trying to get better care, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'm going to be pushing that starting tomorrow. But anyway, do you have any uh, parting shots, advice?
Oh my goodness. No, thank you guys for being here as always. Thank you for just being an awesome community and sharing in everybody's victories and being such an encouraging and welcoming community. I don't even think I told Keith this, so I'm going to share a little tidbit with you guys. I got a lovely message from somebody who had came to our live last week for the first time, and she said that everybody like welcomed her in when she made a comment. Everybody commented and said, "Hey, welcome. So glad you're here." And she said she had never felt so welcomed by a group before. And so I'm so proud of you guys, and I just thank you that not that you have to be that way, but it's just nice. And, this community is just so cool. And getting that message just really warmed my heart because, I want more people in here because I want more besties.
Yeah.
I want more friends. So thank you guys for being here. And I hope everybody has a little bit better day tomorrow. And I am going to go and flop again because I've been upright for far too long.
There you go. I want to echo Miss Amy. Amy, I know I have insider information of where Amy is at physically right now, and the fact that Amy was able to sit in front of her phone for an hour and talk with us and share with us tonight, y'all. Amy is a warrior. That's all I'm gonna say. Um, thank you for supporting us, but thank you more for supporting each other and being here for each other and for keeping this a safe place. As Invisibles, a lot of us don't have a place to go to vent, yell, scream, or even celebrate victories. And you guys support each other. You guys have built an incredible community of people here. People are looking forward to seeing each other each and every Tuesday and Thursday night. And I can't thank you for that. We knew this would happen, and you guys are doing it, and you're killing it. And I can't thank you enough. Thank you for 89,000 likes and getting us out to the FYP page tonight. Thank you
Oh,
for doing all of that. I will let you know how it goes on the pain doc tomorrow. I'm going to talk to him more about the podcast with him and the questions, the topics he has. So I'll have more information on that tomorrow. We're going to do 3 podcasts total. We haven't even done the second one, and he's planning the third one yet. That's how much he wants to help us, and that's how much he wants to share our story with other doctors who watch his podcast.
so good.
Such a blessing. So if you guys need something, please email me, keithcpp@gmail.com. You can try messaging me here. If I don't answer, obviously, what do? You message the person on the other side of the screen, because this person will find me. If you have my phone number, text me or WhatsApp me. If you don't have my phone number, get a hold of me. I'll give it to you. If you need to talk about stuff, I have people. I have some time to coach people if they need it. If you're going to go see a new doctor. Other than that, love you guys. Try to have a good night, and we'll get this up on the YouTube page hopefully pretty soon. So, other than that, we'll see you guys Thursday night. Please be safe. See ya. Peace.
Love you.
Bye.